Welcome back, friends. I'm going to give you a tour of my new camper, Lantern 1, Coleman 202 RD, and a brief review of my experience with Hartland RV in Akron, Ohio. You may or may not want to consider their service. It's okay. Sales guy was good. Some of the other stuff was a little questionable. Stick with me and we're going to do a camper tour next. Alright, we will start our tour of the Coleman 202 RD inside. Just a quick look at how I've got it set up after being in it for about a month. What I like about it is small. It's about 24 foot 10 inches officially. I think it's like 22 or 23 actual, the box length in here. And it does have a separation between the areas. So you've kind of got a living area down here at the end, my sink and kitchen area, fridge. This is the bathroom here, and then the bedroom area is kind of separated. It does have a curtain, a privacy curtain. The nice thing about it is when you're in it, it does feel pretty big compared to my other unit. I see why they do tours of all these units with the windows closed because the light throws off your camera exposure, but we'll try to do what we can. Alright, I've got a rug down here, and I installed my NV wall-mounted heater, 400 watt heater here in this end of the unit, and the floor here is the adventure dog has found a spot here by the door she likes. It does have a nice window. It's not huge, but there's a window to the outside. Some wall space. I installed a couple of hangers that I had a blacksmith make for my other camper, my third other camper a couple years ago. They are basically hand-forged J-hooks for hanging clothes. So I put three then, two around the corner, and one right here by the door. Word. Alright, the other thing I did, modification, is I installed, and I need to plug these screw holes, but I did install this extra shelf. The original shelf is right here, and it goes underneath. I installed this other shelf. It's about a foot deep, and it can take some clothing containers, so it helps with organization. The closet, if you're like 10 or 9 years old and wear belly shirts, is great. Literally, there's the bottom of the sleeve, and it sits on the closet in a lot of these RVs. These shelves are like that. So that's something I don't like. That's why I put a hanging bar in my other bathroom. In that side, I installed some shelving so I could put more bins in there. Okie doke. So what I did, instead of drilling into the wall, I did drill in from the side into that shelf to suspend it. That is a thin quarter inch ply laminated piece on the side of that, so it's not thick enough really to hold much. So I made legs and put in some plywood and added 3 shelves that go all the way to the back. I can put 2 bins in each of these, and there's a little bit of space where the hanging bar is still up there, and that is on with some red HD PE, I believe is the tape, the 3M tape. And so that shelving, I just threw some towels and stuff up there, and I've got colder weather clothes and odds and ends that I don't have a home for yet. When you switch units, you have to find homes for things that you had homes for before. Now, next to the bed is a nightstand underneath the shelf, and there's a cubby hole that goes in the back. This whole shelf piece here is actually covering up the basement outside, the outside access for storage. There's a little bit of a lip. The original unit had a much larger walking area there. My mattress is a queen size mattress, and it kind of takes away the walking area, but I'd rather have the bigger, thicker mattress than the little camper queen that initially I had. Now, something this unit is not lacking in is lighting. There's a lot of lighting in here. It's all LED. Those are a puck light, a ceiling mounted puck light that's wired into the 12 volt system that you hit the center, there's a switch in the center, and I'll show that. And initially when I saw the tours under here from the bed here, I was like, wow, there's no light in this one, but there actually is a number of LED light strips in the camper. The interesting thing, I was looking at just the general quality's not too bad. All of the molding's rounded over. It is, if you look under here, it's a laminated plywood, and it seems to be cut pretty well. It's pretty decent. There is kind of a burlap theme on that window. Kind of matches the wall behind me here with this kind of a gray mesh. But when you're sitting here in bed, you can pull that curtain closed, or what you could do, it just feels a little bit separate with the bathroom being right there. It feels a little bit separate with the bathroom being right there and kind of separating the 2 or 3 living areas in here. So as a small camper, for one person, probably 2, it's probably pretty comfortable. This has been in every RV I've had, so it's my 3rd or 4th unit this has been. Here's your control panel, my awning retract, battery, gray water, black water, I'm sorry, fresh water, black water, gray water too, which doesn't have, there's not a second tank in here. Water heater can turn on and off, it's gas only. I've got an exterior LED strip that's always exposed at the edge of the camper, and the water heater is gas. And I've used everything. I just tend not to want to burn up too much propane. So this interior light here is actually on this switch right by the door, which is kind of odd. And then all these lights operate off of this center puck here. The puck has a button in the middle. There we go. Bright lights. Interestingly enough, they don't put toilet paper holders in these bathrooms now because honestly there really isn't anywhere to put that thing in here. It's kind of small. There's a mirror. Some of the other units there's a switch on the wall. And what I'm doing in here, and I'll just talk about what we're doing in here. Head into the bathroom. There is a switch on the wall. Also, the light has the switch in the middle up there on the ceiling. I've also been experimenting with the microfiber towels that are, and this is now a cotton towel. This is a Turkish bath towel. It's pretty big. It's very thin. Cotton dries quickly. It works pretty well. It doesn't absorb quite as nicely as the microfiber that I reviewed, but I'll probably do a review of this too. I mounted a couple hooks on the wall. Here is the vent fan that I hopefully can replace with an aftermarket similar to a Max Air or something that'll move a little more air. And there's your light. Some of the older models did have a vanity in here, but it stuck out from the wall because this is the exterior wall. So the vanity stuck out even though it opened. They just mounted a mirror. It's not bad. It's got decent trim on it. I basically kind of mounted some other stuff that I had left over and just made a mount there for toothpaste, dog supplies, extra stuff. Shower in here. That probably needs to be replaced with an on-off. It's caulked really well with clear silicone caulk. Laundry basket in here. It's got the tub shower. I can stand up in here. My head almost touches the ceiling. I don't know if I like the fact that they just used the walls. Supposedly they're fine and waterproof, but they did not put a surround or a liner in this shower in this model. Any of the 202 RDs I've seen. Sink, foot flush, plastic Thetford toilet. I haven't really used it, so nothing to worry about there. Storage under the sink for whatever. I've got sprays and stuff for the dog and that kind of thing in there. Put a couple hangers on the door that just go over the door to dry things out. And moving into the kitchen, you're going to see my view of my picnic table. It still has junk all over it from moving, and it's been a month, but it's rained so much I haven't finished everything up. Going to the kitchen here, so we'll talk about the sink. Sink in this unit is plastic. I bought a sink roller that's really handy. It's a double bowl sink. It's not bad. One of the silly things that I noticed was what you've got here is your water switch here. Hot would be this way, cold is this way, but oh my, look Coleman, it hits the window frame, so you can't get the cold 100% on until it gets fully on and it hits the window frame. Also, when you're lowering your shade, you have to leave the shade up, otherwise it hits your water handle there. that was kind of silly. The theme in here, this is like kind of a fake leather covered valance on this cover there. So it changes. There's 3 different types of valance covers in this unit. And just some stuff I threw up there. It's a decent cabinet. I've got just some pots and pans and stuff up in here. Cups. Just used a divider shelf. A little wire shelf from Walmart. Hood. Light, fan. High point. Typical RV microwave. Get down to the Furion stove here. Watch the wobble. The stove does fold up fairly nicely. So that's a nice feature. Kind of built-in backsplash. That is a fake backsplash. It's just wood, and I ended up having to caulk a little bit extra around that edge just because I didn't fully do it. Furion 3-burner stove. It does have an auto light in it, so we'll turn on your gas, turn it in the direction that the arrow is pointing, and it lights. So that's kind of nice. Got a little piezo lighter. And the oven. Wait, no, it looks like an oven. It has the oven type handle, but you open it up. Pots and pan storage is my Omnia oven inside the fake oven. Extra coffee maker, some other stuff, silverware that doesn't fit in the drawers. Honestly, without the oven, I like it a lot better. There's the furnace. I've used that. It works really well. And there's an extra space here for spices. I need to have a bungee added to that, or a stretch cord to make those stay in there on the road, but they fit okay. You've got 3 drawers. You've got a short one that I threw some spices in, and 2 long ones. They're not real convenient as far as they're down a little bit low, but I can get all my silverware in them that I could not get into anything in the other unit because I didn't have any drawers. And the latches stick good. There's storage under the sink. You do have to deal with the P-trap, and then down below it, it's not as deep that, and the light's horrible. It's not as deep, but the my little miniature Instant Pot fits down there just perfectly. I moved the divider back. Basically, it's the drain. The drain pipe goes down, goes there, and it comes across and goes into the tank on that down here on that bottom section. And there is a divider they had screwed into the floor. I unscrewed it and moved it back about 4 inches, and that fit that Instant Pot perfectly, so that worked out okay. And I'm going to be moving down here into the living area. There is storage above there, and in my pantry, which is actually kind of floor-to-ceiling pantry. It only had 3 shelves, so I did add some shelving units, some shelves in here using the posts, and I just taped those to the wall. Dog food. This goes all the way back to the back. So this is the same depth as the refrigerator. This is the Norcold refrigerator. It's 7 cubic foot. It's a lot bigger than the Dometic, and you can get a lot more stuff in it. The only issue I've honestly had with this is it's almost too cold. It's been running at or below freezing. The other thing is with this drain, so the other ones have the different fin. These fins are angled. They drip down there. The drain's over here, and I've actually had this drain, like right now this is ice, but the drain will freeze up, and it'll drip off. So you kind of have to watch it. I do have a thermometer meter in here, and so it's running. I've moved that regulator all over the place, and yeah, it doesn't change. It's either colder than that. That's the warmest I can get it. I added my little typical little notebook pad there. Dog food down here in the corner on a rubber mat. Keep the floor clean. Electric panel. Sheepskin rug. The dinette's decent. You could probably get 4 people in here. It'd be a little tight. Not bad. The table is not attached to the wall, but it is on legs. And here's some of the crap I don't have home for yet that's sitting under here. What I want to do is pull this table out and make one that'll do the same thing, but I have some walnut left in my wood shop that I'd like to use. So, storage, about half of this, I believe, the water heater, or actually the furnace, has some stuff over here on this side of it, but half of this is storage. There's a door here, so basically I put a lot of my stuff, like fix-it stuff for the camper, things I might need. This has full storage underneath it. A jackknife sofa I can almost lay down on. It's relatively comfortable. It's not awesome. Here's my other window. Okay, the jackknife sofa has a decent amount of storage in it. This is the water heater's over here. The storage is under here. and it goes to the wall. It's pretty deep, but because the jackknife only lifts up so high, you can't get bends in there. So anything you're going to store in that water heater, or next to that water heater, needs to be something small enough that it'll fit into that whole area. So there's a quick look here at the inside of the 202 RD by Coleman. And oh yeah, hang on, I forgot, these light up, pretty sweet. Got LED lights under the dinette. Any other notes I would make in here? Good storage up here in the cabinets. There's these, I need to call them. It's supposed to have a DVD player on the package that I got, and that's just a regular radio. It does have a USB player. I put a mount up for the TV. I just pulled it out of their camper and put a TV in here. Furrion booster on the roof. There's a plug up there. I use that for my Sirius. Good cabinetry in here. Really pretty decent storage, actually. For a weekend unit, this thing has a ton of storage. For a full-timer, it's got pretty good storage. Like I said, I added those shelves and that kind of thing. And there's the adventure dog. Alright, we're going to be stepping outside. I'll show you that. I showed you the panel. I've got an awning retract and awning extend. Awning is out right now. It does have the bendable arm so I can adjust the angle on the awning. However, I did find out, they told me if it rained on it, it would bend on its own. It's not true. It is locked solid at that arm angle. You actually have to push that down to make sure that this thing will bend if it rains. Otherwise, it is in a locked position. So we'll run this awning in. It's a Solera awning. Unfortunately, that main pipe there that the awning wraps around is plastic. The old ones are metal. And up under here is also my LED light strip. Basically, you're going to roll this in to travel and stop right there. And it's in for travel mode. They did caution me about overextending the awning because it'll keep going and wrap itself up and tear off. So you want to watch when this lip starts dropping. You'll see. Oops, there we go. Right about there. This is your Lantern Edition 202 RD. There's your RV Industry sticker that I paid $150 for on the sheet. 2 outdoor speakers. Furnace. 120 plug, and we'll do some stuff that they don't do at Camping World, like look at the underneath here. So here's your frame. There's your gas line running from the front to the back. It goes, and there's a junction right there, and it goes up to feed the furnace and the stove, and tires, suspension. Looking at this overall, it looks like they've done a decent job putting this together. There is the new vent for the stove, and it literally snaps closed when you want it to close it. It's not like the other ones that have the little twisty handles on it. To talk briefly about this awning. Again, this, if there's pressure pulling down, this will not bend. You have to go over and bend that to get it to adjust the pitch. Otherwise, it will lock up and probably break. Back of the unit does not come with a spare, but I saved my spare off my other camper. Furrion, pre-wired. There is a cover on this bottom portion of the Furrion, pre-wired. Pull it off, and you install the camera there, and there's also power. The thing I love about this thing are these windows back here. These 3 windows, lots of airflow, and it's a great view. You can see out of it. Awesome. I love the windows. That was part of the thing that sold me, was the windows back. My model came with power jacks. I've got an retract and an extend on that. It's actually probably a little more than it needs to be. I'm going to watch that and not overdo that. It's not to lift it. That's a stabilizer. Power jack in the front. I'm going to retract and extend. There's that. Probably need to do that anyway just to make sure we're balanced. Propane tanks. Put my bigger battery, transfer that because it's new. There's your wiring. Propane. And my light, my jack has a light, and it has power jack. It's full pass-through storage. This storage is actually really big. Here's my window on this side. Outdoor shower, which I may or may not need. There's your gray and black water tank. 30 amp going in, city water in, refrigerator, water fill, and hot water heater. There's the other window, and there's a cable connection back there. And just a quick look at this roof line. I did add in my video the Camco roof vent cover up here. So it's a bright sunny day. What's a better thing to do than to do a roof tour? I don't think you've ever seen a roof tour on a video before of any of these units. Here's my back seal. They did a pretty good job with the decor. There's a lot of it on here. Again, as I said on my video, this seal and the front seal are the weak points on the RVs. There's a wine guard booster. Again, they were pretty generous with the decor lap sealant, and it does have the rubber roof. I don't know if this textured roof shows up, but it is definitely not smooth like the other one with the other roof material. It's actually it's like a textured rubber. It's got more of a rubber feel to it than the other RV roof. It's my Dometic AC unit, and I believe this one actually vents in the side and out the back. My other one on the other camper vented in the back and out the sides. That wasn't bad. There's your refrigerator vent up there. My vent cover that I added, and there are two breather vents for the gray water, black water. And up in the front, there is, it looks like a roof patch. And I showed it in my other video just briefly, but there looks like there's a roof patch right up there. What that is that's actually the 4G mount for the Wine Guard pre-wired 4G LTE extender. Like, you can get 4G extension or 4G chip and put the unit in here, or a Wi-Fi extender. Roof's pretty simple, it's pretty clean, looks pretty well done. Here's your corner, your gutter line. You'll notice a line of caulk between the awning and this gutter unit. Basically, what I found is that the gutter is higher at both ends where the drain is, the scupper, and it's lower, especially over the front door. Supposedly, when I called Camping World, they told me, I don't know if they were blowing sunshine up my skirt or my kilt, but they said that this is supposed to actually be higher at the back and drain out the front. However, what I was running into was water was coming around and over the gutter and draining around this joint between the awning and the C channel where this hooks in, where the awning hooks in. It was running down my door, and so I'd open my door and get a shower if it was raining really hard. So I sealed this, and it stopped the problem. There's definitely a difference in the height of the gutter being a little bit higher in the front than the center portion or towards the middle over the front door over there. And so I'm not real happy about that. Apparently Camping World at Serpilla RV up in Akron was like, it's not our problem, call the manufacturer. You know, they just sell you the camper. It's not their problem to try to make sure you've gotten a good camper. Once it leaves, it's your problem apparently. So buyer beware on that. I don't know if that's a Camping World thing nationwide, or if that's just a Serpilla RV thing up in Akron. But so when you get it, you might want to check everything on your camper and make sure it works. Even though they're showing you it works, I would go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. When I went up there to get my camper, I had an 11 o'clock appointment, and by 2 o'clock they had actually finally started talking to me about picking my camper up and signing my paperwork. So it was kind of a crap experience up there at Serpilla RV in Akron. So I just, be warned. I guess if you're not spending $80,000 on a camper, you're only spending, $16,000 on a camper or whatever. Hey, it's not enough for them to give you the upgraded treatment and customer care. So just be aware of that. I hope that's not nationwide at Camping World, but there you go. So there's the awning. I'll be honest, I really like my camper. I do like it. For the faults, a couple things that are weird. Here's my backup camera mount right there, and that's where that's going to go. Yeah, there's a roof tour. But yeah, like this camper, it's very comfortable, and it's gone pretty well so far. Alright, so this is Caribou Dave coming to you live live when I made it, from the roof of my new RV, Coleman 202 RD, aka the Lantern 1, here at the undisclosed camping location in the Mohawk. Where am I? The Mohican Valley in Central Highlands of Ohio. And, whoa, if you do prefer to subscribe, please like, subscribe, and join my channel. Caribou Dave. Do what you can with what you have, where you are. Out.